Sustainability is a highly diverse area that cuts across many employment sectors. There are a variety of factors to consider if you're looking to pursue a career in sustainability. We asked 3 of our LSE alumni to share their experience working in the sustainability sector, as well as their tips for gaining work experience as a university student.
I work in sustainability consulting, specifically in climate change consulting. So I work with mainly corporates and the private sector on a range of topics such as understanding their carbon emissions, setting targets for reducing their carbon emissions.
I work as a climate change and sustainability consultant, working with some of the largest companies in the UK and beyond to help them to meet the environmental challenges and capture the opportunities associated with those, and in particular helping with the transition to a net zero world.
So the Carbon Trust is a non-for-profit consultancy based in the UK with offices globally. What that means is our driving force as an organisation is to deliver mission impact, so that's accelerating the move to a decarbonised future.
There has been a massive shift in the last few years around sustainability careers. When I was studying at university and even when I was starting out at work.
So I think generally the topic is just getting so much more attention. Everyone, whoever they are recognising that they have a role to play, either because they are being proactive and because they're being leaders, or because they are getting different pressures from their consumers, from investors, from regulation as well.
So I did a master's in environmental policy and regulation at the LSE, and from a content perspective that really brought me up to speed, obviously on the kind of policy and regulation side of things, but it really helped me understand how policy and regulation contribute, how it's maybe lacking, and the kind of pace at which it's taking place, but also how different actors interact with policy and regulation.
I think there's a very wide range of things that you could do. Volunteering is definitely one that I did. I was working with a charity that fights food waste, especially during my master's, which was super interesting, and it was a great way to also work a bit more hands-on some of these challenges that we kind of think and read and write about and talk about a lot.
So I think the importance with work experience, regardless of whether it's sustainability or not, is really to try, as many things as you can. Certainly for me, I tried working on a kind of government side of things, in an NGO, and then on a corporate type internship. Indeed, I was an intern at the Carbon Trust when I started, and 5.5 years later I'm still here. So I think it's important to try lots of different things to really understand what it is you're good at.
The sustainability sector is growing rapidly, and that's a bit of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it means there are a huge number and variety of roles out there, but on the other, it means that as the sector grows, it is segregating itself down into different topics and forcing people to specialise into the areas that they will focus on. That doesn't mean that you need to decide exactly what you want to do for the rest of your career today, and far from it. What happens in 10 years' time will be very different from what we see today. But it does mean that employers will expect you to have a clear view on where your interest lies beyond just naming the buzzwords of sustainability, net zero, climate. So it's important to ask yourself a specific question as to why do you actually want a career in sustainability? And what is it that makes you passionate about entering into that?
The other point that I would say is probably a good piece of advice is to network, because I think the space is still very, very quickly growing, and there is a lot of people who are taking very different paths to different jobs in sustainability, and hearing from those people, talking to them, is going to give you a better idea of where you can go with this and how the space is changing, and also what types of organizations are now getting involved in this. So yeah, networking and finding your topic within sustainability are probably the two things I would recommend.